It takes a strong hand and a sound mind. The college kids are getting so young, ain't they? They're correcting all the grammar on a spray paint. And I even gave up driving after nightfall. I got tired of the frat boys with the brights on. It's as good a land, or at least it was. It takes a strong hand and a sound mind. It makes me smile to know when things get hard. You'll be far. You'll be far from here. That white gleam should have been there. You'll be far. You'll be far, far from here. So pack up your car, put a head in your heart, say whatever you feel, be wherever you are. We ain't angry at you, love. You're the greatest thing we've lost. The birds still sing, the folks still fight, the boards still cook, the leaves still die. We ain't angry at you, love. We'll be waiting for your love, and we'll all be here forever. And we'll all be here forever. Overdue for a revival. It's been so long just getting back. That's the thing about survival. Who the hell likes living just right? Told me you'd make a difference. Well, I got drunk and shut you down.
Good morning, everyone. How's the volume? Great. I'm Samantha Coyne-Donnell, head of school, and it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to Steamboat Mountain School's 67th commencement ceremony. This ceremony marks not only a significant milestone in the lives of our graduates, but also serves as a testament to the unique attributes that define the class of 2024. From the very beginning of their journey, this class has exhibited a remarkable spirit of resilience, adaptability, and innovation. They have navigated through unprecedented challenges with determination, turning obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into triumphs. In the face of adversity, they have shown remarkable courage and strength, inspiring us all with their tenacity and grit. At least this is how ChatGPT described you when I asked AI to write a graduation speech for me. You know, last night went late. I didn't have a lot of time. But as you can see, while AI may have potential to assist with some tasks, it cannot adequately capture what we experience from our daily human interactions. All right, so this part's mine. Class of 2024, you are, in reality, a class that has embraced adventure in its many forms, whether exploring the backcountry, performing on stage, tackling icy downhill descents and lung-bursting Nordic courses, or floating in the Mekong River, you've jumped in without hesitation. A class whose high school journey began during the COVID years, I can only imagine how challenging it was to get to know your peers or to forge new relationships with social distancing, masks, and plexiglass barriers. And yet, even amidst a global pandemic, you embrace the SMS experience. Class of 2024, today we are here to celebrate you. Our hearts are full of pride and joy, mixed with emotions of sadness as we say goodbye. There's likely nobody here today who can better identify with this feeling than your parents. Parents, grandparents, and family members, these graduates would not arrive at this moment without your unconditional support and love. We appreciate your entrusting us with your students' care and education. These graduates are poised to succeed at the next level, and I have unwavering faith in their ability to make things happen for themselves. Parents and families, this would not be possible without your support. Thank you. Thank you. I also want to take a moment to recognize the Board of Trustees. Each trustee volunteers their time and expertise to ensure that the mission of the school remains vital and relevant. Any member of the Board of Trustees who are here today, I saw quite a number of you outside, please stand so that we may recognize you. And I want to give a special shout out to Johnny Spillane. He's been chair of the Board of Trustees from 2019 to 2024. When he took on the board, little did he know that we were heading into a global pandemic, a school merger, and then most recently, Johnny was at the helm of the board as helping to guide us through a successful accreditation visit. Johnny will remain on the board next year, and I'm also delighted to share that Mona Gibson will step into the role of chair starting in June. Thank you both. Finally, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our dedicated faculty and staff. Every day they go above and beyond to inspire students to be the best versions of themselves. Possessing superhuman capabilities, our faculty uncover the potential in each student. This is not your typical boarding school. Faculty responsibilities exceed standard teaching and pastoral roles. SMS faculty lead month-long excursions requiring grit and fortitude. They offer world-class activities like chainsaws and milkshakes, which was literally a weekend activity run by Andy Winan, where students cut logs with chainsaws and then get milkshakes after. It's all part of the character building program. They set high expectations for learning while offering endless coaching and encouragement. They shuttle students to training, Starbucks, Walmart, doctor's appointments, and ultimately they ensure that every student at SMS is seen, known, and valued. Last night's senior roasts, tributes, are a testament to the deep connections that our faculty form with students as they learn the many intricacies of your lives, probably too many you were thinking last night, that eventually become fodder for a bit of loving banter. Let's take a moment to recognize the SMS faculty and staff. Please rise. Class of 2024, as I was thinking about this day and what I would share with you, I couldn't help but think back to my own high school graduation. Trying to harken back to what I could remember, it was 1992. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge, was playing on the radio. Do y'all know that song? Do y'all know what a radio is? All right, okay. Turkish Delight wasn't even a thing yet. And during my graduation rehearsal, well, this is the memory I could conjure up. During my graduation rehearsal, which took place on the football field with 400 of my closest classmates, I fell asleep. I don't know how long I dozed off for, but I next remember waking up to a classmate tapping me on the shoulder, signaling it was time for the next part of the rehearsal. Well, I stood up because we were beginning to practice getting our diploma. Little did I know that the person next to me had tied my shoelaces together, so I immediately tumbled to the ground, prompting uproar from those around me. And those around me were seniors whom the only thing I had in common was that our last names started with the same letter. And beyond that memory, I can recall that it rained on my day of graduation and really not much more. And I think about that very much capturing the essence of my high school experience, which I think is far too similar for many other students. High school for me was not memorable or impactful. It was a checklist, a series of boxes that you tick off in order to move on to the next thing. It never occurred to me that school could be challenging enriching, and meaningful. High school for me meant sitting at a desk from 8 to 3 and just doing school. At Steamboat Mountain School for you, school meant grappling with complex topics like the potential merits and dangers of artificial intelligence or how geographic factors influence national prosperity. It meant confronting the realities of life in Cambodia, whose citizens face daily harm from unexploded landmines and munitions, remnants from a war that took place over 40 years ago. School for winter athletes meant juggling daily training, frequent travel to competitions, managing academics, and sometimes battling through injuries. Adam Grant's recent novel, Hidden Potential, captures the science of achieving great things, since he suggests that most of us tend to think about success all wrong. We are not born with greatness, but instead, those who inspire excellence exhibit a deep commitment to deliberate practice and learning while embracing discomfort. As Grant notes, quote, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved." The SMS experience is one that embraces trial and suffering, though especially for the parents, we try to use alternative phrasing that sounds more appealing, like vigorous and learning, type 2 fun, adventurous pursuits. It's better for the whole marketing angle. But what I appreciate most about this graduating class is that you don't stand on the sidelines when faced with these soul-strengthening opportunities. You jump in, feet first, to embrace each adventure that awaits you. Lainey and Gina captured this spirit during your recent trip to Cambodia, when you visited FAIR, a nonprofit performing and visual arts vocational training school and the birthplace of the Cambodian circus tradition. In a workshop with the artists from FAIR, you were invited to learn a few circus maneuvers. In an attempt to execute a chain forward roll with wrists attached to ankles, Will and Sam confidently linked themselves together and attempted the roll, which, to quote Lainey, could generously be described as a slow motion slump. This spirit of confident initiative, which some may call audacity, as displayed by Sam and Will, perfectly capture the essence of your class. Seniors, you are not afraid to do hard things or to intentionally push yourselves outside your comfort zone. Your boldness and initiative will allow you to pursue ambitious dreams like making the U.S. national ski team, perhaps even the ski ballet team, Jonah, starring in the next Oscar-worthy drama, and maybe even one day it will provide you with the courage to launch a band called Turkish Delight. Prior to Global Studies and Intercession, I was fortunate enough to spend a few days with the senior class reflecting on their time at SMS and articulating hopes and fears for the future. Many of you expressed that you felt a profound weight on your shoulders to change the world, driven by an urgent sense of responsibility from the adults around you to addressing pressing global challenges. I can appreciate how, as an 18-year-old, this expectation seems unfair when you are just launching your own journey into adulthood. I get it. And while I agree that it is a lot to put on your shoulders, I firmly believe that a better future exists for all of us, not because of what you will do, though you will undoubtedly accomplish great things, but because of who you are. Class of 2024, congratulations. We are so proud of you. At this time, I would like to introduce Johnny Spillane, Steamboat Mountain School Board Chair. Johnny's roots at the school run deep. As the son of Jim and Nancy Spillane, two former heads of school at Steamboat Mountain School, Johnny grew up on this campus and then attended SMS for high school. As an Olympic medalist and world champion Nordic combined athlete, he understands firsthand the commitment that it takes for our students to succeed in the classroom and in athletics. Currently, Johnny is a successful entrepreneur, sports commentator, and local business owner. He is also an SMS parent with 3 children, whose oldest will join the class of 2028 on the upper school campus next year. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Samantha, and thanks everyone for being here today, and congratulations to the graduating class of 2024. As Samantha mentioned, this spring marks the end of my term as chair of the board. When I first took on this role, I did so with a deep sense of responsibility and excitement. The Steamboat Mountain School has always held a special place in my heart, and the chance to lead it was an honor. Looking back, I'm incredibly proud of what we've accomplished. We doubled enrollment at the K-8 campus. We survived COVID. That was a lot of fun. We built a new classroom building at the lower school campus, and most importantly, we successfully merged the two schools and now provide the only K-12 private school education in Steamboat. This wouldn't have been possible without the dedication of the administrators, faculty, and most importantly, the teachers, the ones in the trenches that turn vision into reality. I'd like to thank the board members who brought their diverse perspectives and the committee members who tirelessly pursued our goals, all on a volunteer basis. We rely on you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for you donating your time and expertise to such a meaningful mission. To Samantha, you have a vision and the nerve and backbone to see it through. We're so lucky to have you, and I'm proud to say we've locked you down for the foreseeable future. As I step down, I do so with immense optimism for the future. We have a strong foundation in place, and with that, I'd like to formally introduce the birthday girl, Mona Gibson, as the next board chair of the Steamboat Mountain School. I have no doubt this organization will continue to soar with Mona helping to lead the charge. To the graduates, you guys are the reason that we do all this work. We're incredibly proud of what you've done to this point, and we cannot wait to see what you accomplish in the future. This may be a milestone day for you, but we see it as a stepping stone, a stone that leads to bigger and brighter things. You have it in you, and while we are so proud of you today, we cannot wait to see what you do to shape the future. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to serve. It's been an incredible journey, and I look forward to remaining involved in witnessing the school's continued success. Thank you, and congratulations again.
With the recent merger of Emerald and Steamboat Mountain Schools in 2021, we now recognize students who choose Steamboat Mountain School for their entire academic journey. Grace Bryce has called SMS her home away from home for the last 13 years. I'm looking over to see if Jen Friend, who welcomed her through the doors in kindergarten, sitting over there. She's shed some tears yet. And I've had the privilege of serving as her head of school for the last 7, and I'm a better person for it. Grace, it has been a pleasure watching you grow and blossom inside and outside the classroom walls of SMS. Grace, please stand so we can recognize you. Today, we want to honor students who have distinguished themselves during their time at Steamboat Mountain School for their scholarship, personal character, and leadership. The Lowell Whiteman Award, named after the school's founder, honors his legacy. When Lowell started the school in 1957, he had a vision that preparation for college meant more than challenging academics. Classroom studies, when paired with experiential learning in the outdoors and around the globe, have the ability to transform the lives of our students and provide them with the wide range of skills necessary for leading fascinating lives. The Lowell Whiteman Award honors a student who embraces Lowell's holistic vision of education and demonstrates the desire to make a difference in their community. The recipient also exhibits a strong spirit of adventure in the broadest sense of the word. This year's recipient exemplifies these values through numerous contributions to the SMS and broader Steamboat community. His keen intellect and creative talents, combined with his sense of compassion, empathy, and justice, result in an authentic desire to make a difference. During his time at SMS, he has served as a student prefect, led community dinners, and has been a steady, ethical presence as a member of our standards committee. His leadership has been instrumental in fostering a sense of belonging, inclusion, and shared purpose within our community. Last year, he designed the Tranquil Treehouse, transforming a cluttered storage area into a space for contemplation, meditation, and mindfulness. Outside of SMS, he has been a vibrant presence in the high school performing arts community. Most recently, he showcased his organizational and creative talents as the producer for Steamboat's Student Dance Showcase. As an advocate for the LGBTQ+ community, He has taken on leadership roles with Queer Futures, providing crucial advocacy and support for local LGBTQ+ youth. For his capstone project, he ventured into the realm of public policy, working with state representatives to gain insights into the legislative process and to identify where policies often encounter obstacles. This experience not only broadened his understanding of governance, but also underscored his determination to drive systemic change. In every endeavor, this student has demonstrated a strong spirit of adventure, embracing challenges with enthusiasm and resilience. Please join me in congratulating Axton Juneau, whose passion, leadership, and vision inspire us all.
It is my honor to present the Steamboat Mountain School Senior Scholar Award. This award goes to a student who, in the eyes of the faculty, demonstrates scholarship and a true passion for learning. This year's Senior Scholar is, in many ways, much like the Formula One drivers he so admires. When it comes to academics, Sam Carpenter is nothing if not precise. He dots all his I's, crosses all his T's, drives on instinct, and focuses on the track in front of him. Like the best drivers, he doesn't cut corners and uses accuracy to his advantage. Having taught him myself, I can attest to his high performance levels. He received more 100% than any other student that has ever been in my classroom. Sam isn't one of those drivers who takes all the glory and yet doesn't fully understand the machine whose wheel he is sitting behind. He knows the ins and outs of his vehicle and isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. His teachers share that he always stays after class to talk shop. And if he doesn't understand a concept, he will work tirelessly to fill in the gaps. Sam works hard to perform at his highest level. Like a driver smoothly turning around sharp curves, Sam perfectly balanced his life in an extremely hectic environment. As a high-level competitive athlete, Sam misses about 50% of school. And yet, he still manages to excel. But, like the best Formula One drivers, Sam's academic achievements are nothing without the passion that drives them. Sam, it is clear that you love to learn. We see it in your authentic curiosity for all things math and science related. We see it in your pursuit of Spanish that you turned into a thoughtful capstone project with integrated community. Most obvious, perhaps, we see it in the big, goofy grin on your face whenever you are in the classroom. Congratulations on receiving the Senior Scholar Award.
Head of School Award. This award is given to a senior who has invested themselves heart and soul in a broad range of school programs and activities. Further, this award is given to a student who excels academically and provides strong leadership in the community. This student exudes radiant optimism while maintaining a joyful approach to her many intellectual and creative pursuits. When visitors arrive on campus, she always stops whatever she is doing to greet them with a warm smile, making everyone feel immediately welcome. She embodies what it means to be a scholar and a leader. In her role as a prefect, she has demonstrated integrity and responsibility, setting an example for others to follow. Her contributions as a member of the Standards Committee have been invaluable, as she consistently offers honest perspective while demonstrating empathy and compassion. While she can be dramatic, she is not a drama queen. In fact, far from it. For her senior capstone project, she chose a path that reflects her selflessness and dedication to others, volunteering to support the middle school production of Beowulf. She not only shared her expertise and passion with younger students, but also nurtured their thespian skills, encouraging them to believe in themselves and their abilities. The project is a testament to her generosity, mentorship, and commitment to fostering a love of the arts in future generations. She excels academically, and her achievement stems from her steady efforts. Her ambition is marked by grace and unselfishness, always aspiring to do her best without the intent to overshadow others. As a result, her pursuit of excellence inspires and elevates those around her. We are thrilled that she'll continue her journey at NYU Tisch School for the Arts, where she will undoubtedly thrive and further pursue her passions. It won't be long before we see this young woman in the latest rom-com, summer blockbuster, and if we're lucky enough, we may even see her in Shrek the Hall's Christmas Shrek Edition. Please join me in congratulating this year's Head of School Award recipient, Sienna Lichtenfeld. Each year, we select seniors to serve as class agents. As class agents, these students will be responsible for maintaining the link between the class of 2024 and Steamboat Mountain School, ensuring that the graduates will keep in contact and remain connected to the greater school community. We thank them in advance for their dedication to the school and to their class. Please stand when I call your name. This year's class agents are Sienna Lichtenfeld and Will Sorrentino. Now I'd like to welcome our graduation speaker, Sergio Cilli, class of 1998, currently lives in Portland, Oregon with his wife and 2 kids after grinding it out in Los Angeles for 20 years. He's been enjoying working in the entertainment business and has received a Clio Award for his directing work in commercials and an Emmy for his writing in television. Welcome back, Sergio.
Thanks. My foot fell asleep. I didn't think that would happen. My foot actually fell asleep. All right, we'll just keep going. Congratulations, class of 2024. You did it. Give them a hand. I am very happy for all of you because you're about to hear an amazing, life-changing graduation speech from me. You will never forget this. The content of this speech will be a guiding light to you for the rest of your life. It will inspire and quite possibly move you to tears. There is Kleenex under your chairs. In 20 years, when you look back at all your successes and where they all began, it will lead back to this moment and this speech that you are about to hear. It's very exciting. To be honest, I don't remember anything about the speech given at my own graduation. Whoever gave it, I could not even identify them in a lineup. I'm guessing it ended with an excerpt from Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. That doesn't mean it wasn't a great speech. I bet it was chock full of great wisdom. But as an 18-year-old, I was just ready to jump in my VW van and go camping with my friends. Now, at the tender age of 44, I tell my 18-year-old self that the next best thing around the corner can wait. It's happening right now that actually is important, because now is your life, your actual life. The memories are distorted by emotions and conditioned thinking, and the future hasn't happened. So let's all take a few seconds to recognize at this moment, no one else in the world is experiencing this moment. Okay. I was originally going to count out loud as like a funny thing of a moment of silence where I counted out. Anyway. Returning here has been a great reminder of what a gift it was to go here. Was I the greatest student? No. Was I a great skier? Absolutely not. But it was here where I discovered my life's passion, which was writing and making videos. I even used to sneak out of class on my knees to go into the art studio and edit, and I would get in trouble. But now, who's doing the speech? Anyway. So anyway, I do want to thank Mitch Globe, who was my film teacher, and Steamboat Mountain School for giving me my life's passion. Okay, now for some sick life advice from a guy you won't be able to identify in 20 years. 1, enjoy the process. Don't be focused only on results. Be present during the process because it's actually the best part. Be flexible and willing to change directions because it may take you to places you didn't even know you wanted to go. What I dreamed of and what I ended up doing were very different, mostly because I was led by how I wanted to feel about what I did and not merely what I wanted to achieve. When I graduated, the internet was barely a thing. So if someone had told me, you're going to get your break making YouTube videos, I would have been like, I don't know what that is. We were barely even recycling back then, guys. It was a wild time. All I'm saying is that there are uncharted waters ahead for you, so with your heart as a compass, please enjoy the journey. 2, stay creative. When I say creative, I don't mean like watercolors and writing a poem every day, unless that's something you really enjoy doing and it reminds you of who you are. Creativity is a part of everything great. A successful entrepreneur uses creativity for building a business with longevity just as much as a sculptor uses theirs to produce works of art. It's all the same. Creativity is a currency, and it's essential in being a part of anything good. 3, listen to your gut. Intuition is a superpower we all have, and the more you practice listening to it, the easier it becomes to hear. In my opinion, many people lose touch with their intuition as they get older. And if doing something really feels good, like comfortable and easy, trust that. Pay attention to it. It's your intuition guiding you. 4, give your dreams the attention you would give a paying job, and you will fly past most people. Because when you work at something every day, it's impossible not to build something. 5, stay connected to nature as much as humanly possible. Get up from your desk and go for a walk in nature. It will help you listen to your intuition and be creative. Magical things can come through you when, yeah, this one knows what I'm talking about. Magical things can happen when you are in nature. 6, be kind to everyone. Not so people like you, but because it feels good and you will attract good things in your life. You will never know who you might meet, and if you're always kind, you don't need to waste energy wondering who you should kiss up to. Lastly, you beautiful graduates were asked to email me things you were going to miss about high school so I can include them in the speech. Not a single one of you emailed me a damn thing. Which brings me to your final lesson. If you don't do a job, a robot will replace you with possibly disappointing results. So I also consulted AI. And now we'll hear what the robots think you'll all miss about Steamboat Mountain School. And I will do it in my best AI voice, which is very human but slightly creepy. Hello, graduating class of 2024. We can't help but think about all the things we will miss. The late night study sessions, the football games under a starlit sky, the sound of lockers slamming between classes. And let's not forget about those delicious green chili smothered burritos from the cafeteria that always hit the spot. Congratulations, class of 2024. The world is waiting for you. That was actually really good. Maybe the robots do understand us. Class of 2024, my heartfelt congratulations. It was an honor being here. It was so fun to come back. And remember, please, to enjoy the ride.
The seniors have selected Jonah Fleischer to speak on their behalf today. Come on up, Jonah.
Hello, all. You may be wondering why these guys over here selected the kid who missed about 50% of all of his high school days to do the senior speech. Been wondering the same thing myself. No, but seriously, I'm so honored to be up here, and I want to thank everyone in the class of 2024 for giving me this opportunity. My name is Jonah Fleischer, and coming to this school was the best decision I've ever made. However, I did miss about 50% of my high school days. You might think because of this, I don't actually know my graduating class very well. This couldn't be further from the truth. The students I've had the privilege of spending the last 4 years with are the kindest and most selfless people I have ever met. Whether I was in Chile or Europe for months on end, chasing my dreams, or even if I was just at home sick for a couple of days, the second I walked into school again, the class of 2024 made me feel welcome. Every single person asked how my trip went. They asked how I was doing, and they asked how long I would be back for. They truly cared. Even when I had to explain to the entire class one by one how I blew out a shoulder, broke a hand, or even knocked out a few teeth. Hence, Fleischer's Flashy Grill. Thanks, Brian. I still felt like my classmates truly cared, and I'm sure I'm not alone. After countless days and nights of Katie and Brian nonstop asking me about what I was going to say in my speech that represents this class, and making sure I wasn't going to bomb, I found myself thinking of one moment. It wasn't freshman year, when COVID kept us 6 feet apart. It wasn't any specific memory of a time in class that made me laugh, although I'll always remember Will King's undercooked rum cake in Lil Durk's class. It was doing something the pinnacle of education known as the Steamboat Mountain School does best. Going into the woods for a few days and not doing any school whatsoever. The moment that came to mind was my sophomore year backpacking trip. When me and many others of the class of 2024, including Grace, Charlie, Molly, Nate, Andrick, and Will, summited 2 14ers. We got up at 4 a.m., trekked for hours up boulder fields and forests, and as we were nearing the first peak, I looked around. Fatal mistake. It was at this moment that the entire group just took off. I mean, after 4 hours of hiking, I've never seen anyone hit the jets so hard. It was an absolute mad scramble among our group to be the first one to the top. These guys were cooking me, and I was supposed to be the athlete in this group. The first person that reached the summit, it was me, No, I'm joking. It was Charlie. She wasn't going to let a bunch of GS students and some alpine skiers show her up as a Nordork endurance athlete. As Charlie reached the top, she didn't admire the view. She didn't even say, "Better luck next time, nerds," which would have been on brand. She simply turned around and helped the next person behind her up to the top of the mountain. I think this is what the traits of the amazing staff and the core tenets of the school itself represent. I think that's why it's called Steamboat Mountain School. Everyone has their own mountains to climb in life. But coming to this school and sharing my life with these amazing people has shown me that no one does it alone. You help those around you, you fight together. You never let your personal ego get in the way of making friends in all walks of life. You show up every day ready to give, not take. The strong, dedicated, and loyal staff has done so much for me, but it was the class of 2024 that taught me to love and respect others simply by doing the same for me. Every single person in this class has made the school a home away from home. I found the love of my life and a group of friends that I would do anything for at this school. The class of 2024 changed my life. To this hodgepodge group of people I've met during my journey, I wish you the best. I'm so proud to call you all my friends. Thank you. In class of 2024, we did it! Brian, I know you want to put me on the spot for always being late to chores and doing more community service in front of all these people, but just let me have this, man, please. Thank you.
All right, here we go. It's about to get real. I'd like to ask our faculty to come up to present our graduating seniors.
Sorry. I don't have my glasses on and I've been crying. This could be a mess. Okay. Dear Sophia, who the heck are you and where did you come from? Seriously, let me back up. You see, for the first several months of this school year, Sophia was just a name, a mythical new senior we would meet someday soon who was held in some visa purgatory around Egypt. Sure, we told Pearson. Sophia? Okay, I'll believe that when I see it. And then poof, Sophia arrived. She was real, and she has a beautiful smile. She had a real voice, a loud voice, a self-deprecating humor, and strong opinions. An odd mix of composed, cosmopolitan woman and teenaged hot mess. So how the heck did she end up here? She'd never even skied. And now she's in rural Colorado at the end of the county road in a tiny school. Who was this girl? In time, however, I identified some Rocky Mountain in this girl, and her being here didn't seem so strange. For example, I had several moments this winter shouting, "Pizza pie, not French fry," as she went way too fast toward the fence at the bottom of the slope. She's spicy, like a cowgirl. I like her. Sometimes, Sophia seems like a Western wildfire, out of control, burning hot with whirlwinds of emotion. Also, though, Sophia is an alpine wildflower who blooms wherever she lands, as tough as she is beautiful. Sophia, you are real. I see who you are and where you come from, Egypt, and a Little Route County. Who are you? The cosmopolitan Egyptian and the Rocky Mountain wildflower, and the mythical being, remembering beyond your years that sometimes we have to bravely let go of who we are to step into who we are meant to be. We are so glad to know you. Congratulations.
A lyric of a song kept playing over and over in my head, and I must address it. I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, Andrick is heading to Montana State. That can be a tough crowd. So I want to clear this up. You see, Andrick is a kind, gentle, soft-spoken, organized, dependable, lovable, neat, and compassionate person. Yet, he is misunderstood. I ask myself, why? So I have some thoughts. You may not realize it, but maneuvering words can be interpreted in many ways. This can lead to conflict. Think, be clear, use your words carefully, and not to manipulate an outcome. Got it? People might misunderstand you, and that's because they don't know what you're feeling. If we don't know what we're feeling, that can be confusing. So this is a tough one. So try to express, think, feel, and be comfortable. Got it? Okay. Your point of view can differ from others, so be clear when you communicate by making sure that you are expressing your thoughts and your emotions. You have it? You better. Okay, as you head to MSU to study aeronautics and flight, be true to yourself. You've got it all. Attention to detail, charisma, zest for life and living, a love-filled heart, contentment, support from your family, love of self. Believe you're the whole package because you are. You're smart, but perhaps a bit unpracticed in practical terms. But go fly airplanes, get big air on your snowboard, soar on your bike, round the corners, but no matter what, land softly. Smile and know. Do you have this? Okay, good. Come on up here.
Like a seed waiting for the sustenance of sun and water, Grace was planted at a kindergarten, in fact, called Steamboat Mountain School. For 13 years, we have watched in quiet awe as she sprouted, This is going to be tough for me. As she sprouted above ground, burgeoned, leafed, blew around in the wind, blossomed in spite of snowstorms, or perhaps because of them, and ultimately unfolded her petals. In rich soil, she has bloomed. In the classroom, Grace is a flower that has opened before us. She went from being a shy ninth grader with her petals closed to a brilliant yellow daffodil that could not be ignored. She contributes enthusiastically and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Like pollen passing from flower to flower, Grace's mind is a mapping system that makes creative connections. She stretches above the chaos, seeing the bigger picture that no one else can. In the outdoor and travel spaces, she has grown tall and strong. On GS, she's endured sleepless nights of 110 degrees, her best friend nearly flying from a swing, and fruit for dessert. She learned lessons and laughter from all of these experiences. And although Grace won't hesitate to tell anyone who will listen that she detests hiking, she took the winter backcountry skills class this year because she wanted to challenge herself. On the tennis courts, she stands out individually as one of the best players in Steamboat. Grace is always pushing and reaching beyond her comfort zone to grasp at growth on the other side. Grace, when I think about who you are and who you have become during your time at SMS, I'm filled with immeasurable pride. Your roots are deep, and your hands stretch out wide above you. You have grown all that you can here. You are in need of new soil, a bigger pot, found in Alabama. Congratulations, Grace. Internally, Sam Carpenter is bustling with excitement. Now, there are a lot of people's minds I wouldn't want to peek into, but if I could, Sam's would be one of them. An adventurous adrenaline seeker, a perfect storm of electrical energy. I imagine there are neurons firing so fast, making little connections here and there, and each moment is spent pruning with precision. His intellectual agility is matched by his diverse athletic prowess. Alpine snowboarders can reach speeds upwards of 70 miles per hour, and Sam has described his experience quite beautifully. The rush of flying competition gates, holding a strong carve on a fully engaged edge, and feeling the full G force from that turn. On weekends, you can find him on single track, navigating hairpin turns on his dirt and mountain bikes. And next year, he will no doubt add surfing to his
Don't worry, Jonah, I didn't mention any of your tardies in this one. I have had the pleasure of being the assistant director for the new hit Disney Plus series, The Jonah Show. Set in the Rocky Mountains, Jonah, our main character, starts as this goofy little 14-year-old kid, strutting around with his voice cracking and he always cracking jokes. At first, we had to work a bit on his timing and his delivery. Thank you to all the loyal fans for enduring this phase. So as with any good show, our character evolves. He begins to understand what he is capable of doing. His confidence grows, but not from self-importance, rather an understanding of humility, of service, and of course, humor. He begins to understand that the world is bigger than him. He is not just pushing through life to define who he is. He pauses, reflects, and learns to value the gift of life and the life he lives. The popularity and longevity of the show is in his endearing happiness within Jonah. He has a perspective that allows him to live his life in joy and peace, expressing and sharing it through laughter, fun, and quirky smirks. A happiness that is contagious and lifts those around him. A joy that brings him and others balance and confidence, whether on the slopes or in the room. A joy that is not simply whimsical, but rooted in his responsibility to others and love for his family. When one is living happiness in mind, heart, and body, one lives knowing that together all is right in this world. This is the last episode of this season of The Jonah Show. And on behalf of your fans, thank you for making us laugh and bringing happiness and joy to our lives, Jonah. Come on up.
I would say that I am a pretty confident adult. So being intimidated by a student doesn't happen too often. Then along came Bree. Intimidated is too mild a word. I was stunned, dazzled, impressed, intrigued, and slightly terrified of this powerful and vibrant human. Much as I might be if Beyoncé entered the room. Beyoncé. While Bree is certainly still a mesmerizing force in my eyes, intimidation has swiftly turned to endearment, and the rich, golden, gooey center of Bree has entranced me just as much as the strong exterior. Her tenacity and fortitude drew me in, and I discovered these qualities are but a few of the ingredients that combine to contribute to the alchemy of who Bree is. She is gentle, evident in her graceful first-grade math lesson. She possesses a sharp intellect and an unwavering attention to detail in her academics. She is remarkably thoughtful and holds a captivated interest and consideration of people around her. She is a fierce athlete, even when that means fiercely maintaining a PT schedule to be competition ready 1 year post-surgery. How can one person be so many things? How can someone balance strength and softness in such a poetic way? I don't know, but she's doing it. Beyoncé, your presence is truly dazzling. The balance of your electrifying and irresistible elements is enchanting. It's been such a joy to experience the magic of who you are. Congratulations. We love you.
So I have kids, and no, seriously, I have kids. By the way, you can just have kids. There's like no test or anything. You're just hanging out, and one day, boom, kids. But kids that grow up on campus are a sort of group project. It's not unusual for me to walk downstairs in the morning and find one of Pearson's kids eating a bowl of cereal and watching cartoons in my living room. Mi casa es Walker's casa. I bring this up because one of our graduates here today is a campus kid. He doesn't live on campus anymore, but he did when he was younger. And in all the ways that matter, he's the product of our collaborative experiment in raising kids. I first met this graduate 15 years ago, before I had kids and before I was a teacher. I just started working maintenance at SMS and was headed up to Lockwood to check the water plant. In the opposite direction comes a kid flying down the hill on a tricycle. Some student had built a dirt jump, and this little kid was attacking it with all the confidence of Evel Knievel. And just like Evel at Caesar's Palace, he lands in a heap in the middle of the road. So I'm standing in front of a pile of scraped up elbows and knees, and I can see the waterworks are about to start. The eyes welling up, the corners of the mouth turning downward. So I say what any guy says to a child that's about to start crying. Hey, 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 no, 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 you're cool, you're good, you're good, you're good. And it works. He gets up, he looks at me, he looks at himself, and does this sort of post-crash physical inventory. And then he grabs his trike and just starts dragging it back up the hill for another run. I was stunned because he believed me. Sure, he was 4 and didn't know any better, but also because to live in a place like this, you need to trust your neighbors, and your neighbors need to be trustworthy. Anyway, I left SMS for a while, but when I came back, the kid was still here. To look at him, it's obvious that he has a lot of his parents in him. You can see it in his courage and his creativity. But as I get to know him, I also saw flashes of Margie's reverence for the spiritual and natural world. Some of Gilbo's sense of humor. He can ski like a wither. He's as smart as Brick or Spangler. And he's as game for adventure as Michael. So I teach this kid for a couple years, and then one day it happens. Parents, mentors, coaches, you can probably relate to this situation. Imagine. You're holed up in a mud brick guest house somewhere in the backlands of Morocco, and you're sick as a 3-legged dog. You must have drank some bad water, eaten some bad sheep's feet tagine. You're in a tailspin and really wondering if you're going to be able to pull out of this one, when there's a knock at the door. You go and look, and it's that little kid that launched himself into orbit on his big wheel. But he's a man now, and he's looking down at you. And this young man says, I've got some Gatorade and some Zofran. You should probably take it. And you say, I'm really struggling, Wyatt. I don't know if I've ever been this sick. But he looks you up and down, and he says, you'll be all right. And you believe him. Because the kid is smart. Smarter than you. Capable. You let him take the lead on any kind of expedition. And you trust him as much as you trust any of the people in your tribe. I know after today, I'm going to see a lot less of Wyatt around campus, which is heartbreaking. But there is some solace in knowing that this community has become part of him, and that he is part of this community.
Ben. I've heard a lot of prognostication over the last few months about where Ben will be, most of which recognizes your uncanny ability in applied mechanics and your love for outdoor adventure, and most presumes that you'll eventually find your way back to Steamboat, perhaps becoming the local guru for chairlift maintenance. Such assumptions are certainly logical and entirely plausible. But because I possess very little mechanical acumen of my own, I am especially honored that you asked me to speak on your behalf. As the most sincere compliment to you, I am quite happy to say that I cannot foresee your future, and that I look upon the next few years of your academic life with great anticipation for whatever you may discover. I've had the privilege of teaching you in multiple capacities and across various grade levels since you were in middle school. And you are one of the most genuine, kind, open-minded, and thoughtful individuals I've yet encountered in my career. It's rare to meet a student of any age with both the bravery and the wherewithal to seek help and apply feedback on a regular basis. You've always understood highly abstract ideas, though it's often been difficult for you to explain them in straightforward terms, which has meant you've likely been challenged to explain in straightforward terms what exactly it is that confuses you. And yet you've shown great resilience in figuring out ways to express your deep understandings and to take stock in them yourself. You've come to see how taking apart the intricacies of an engine is akin to deconstructing the nuances of literature, and that building your interpretations into coherent articulations is much like assembling a working snowmobile from a pile of parts. You are gifted with rare and laudable characteristics: hard work, determination, and an unyieldingly upbeat attitude by which you acknowledge what confuses you and are always optimistic about your own progress. Those same qualities are why so many of us who will live in Steamboat while you're away also want you to return here after your next graduation. We're lucky to know you, and we want you around. In the meantime, I am anxious for you to try new endeavors, to explore what you're not familiar. I don't know much about engines, but I know a lot about academics, and I have every confidence in your ability to succeed in the college classroom. Be brave next year. Be resilient. In effect, be yourself. You'll be fine. It has been my great pleasure to teach you.
Axton is a Renaissance man. Like Da Vinci, Axton's vulnerable individuality is expressed in a myriad of forms, but this time with a gorgeous rainbow splash of color added. He's a divine dancer, courageous choreographer, awe-inspiring artiste, smooth snowboarder, and coffee connoisseur. He can even act. Did you see him wipe down the bar in Rock of Ages? When Axton isn't pursuing fine arts, you'll find him using his brilliant barred brain, with a specialty for critical thinking, ruckus debates, and the nuances of politics. What's more, just like Shakespeare in the height of the English Renaissance, Axton facilitated the taming of the shrew. No, he didn't subdue an unruly woman. He did, however, use a flower pot in my office to capture an actual shrew. But unlike the Renaissance man, Axton is not solely focused on his individual pursuits. He strives tirelessly to make the world a better place for everyone. Whether it be through building a tranquil treehouse or his willingness to stick behind and finish up the dishes. Outside of our community, Axton is an activist and an aspiring politician who testifies in front of our Congress, fighting for human rights that transgender people deserve. Axton, you have shown us what it means to journey inward to explore the self. At 18, you understand who you are better than most people will ever come to understand themselves. But you have also taught us how to turn outward, to love and serve this world. In other words, you have taught us what it means to be whole. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Smith, lead reporter for Steamboat's #1 tabloid, Yellow Snow. Today, I have an exciting expose on our superstar, Sienna. She goes by one name because that's what famous people do. You think you know her, but just wait. I sent my team of reporters to ask 3 key questions, and here's what we got. Who is Sienna? To which we got answers like, she's great, she's amazing, she's perfect. No, really, who is Sienna? She's helpful, she's nice, she's a leader. No, really, really, who is Sienna? This I got from her sister. Sorry. Well, she'll break out in song or TikTok dance at sometimes awkward moments, and she'll tell dry jokes and be the only one laughing. You know what else? She's kind, compassionate. She will look you in the eye and ask you how you are doing after she's had a full day of class and 4 hours of dress rehearsal. She will genuinely listen and without judgment. She pursues her goals even when the odds are against her, and no matter the outcome, she humbly celebrates or learns and moves forward. Sienna, we've learned in this expose that your greatness and perfection isn't when you hit the right note, have your hair just right in the photo, or remember all of your lines. It's in the moments you sing your heart out despite losing your voice, when sometimes you're the only one laughing at your jokes, and how you selflessly care for others. This is why your friends adore you and your family is proud of you. Your laughter, talent, and heart can make the smallest of spaces feel genuine and good, or in the biggest of spaces shine brighter than Times Square. Thank you for bringing us into your journey. Come on up.
I want to shine a little sunshine on an extraordinary individual who embodies the essence of resilience, passion, and joyful spunkiness. Charlie is fond of nicknames, and while her friends lovingly call her Chuck, I can't bring myself to call her that because it just reminds me of beef chuck meat. I decided to look up the meat and found some excellent comparisons for our Charlie Chuck beef chuck. And it described it as a jumble of connective tissue, bones, and a hodgepodge of tender and not so tender meat. It also requires a long, slow cooking method to soften it up to truly release its flavor. And it sounds like Charlie to me. Charlie's tender side comes through in her genuine care and concern for those around her. She's the kind of person who always takes the time to check in, ask how you're doing, or how your family is doing. Charlie's not so tender side. On the ski slopes, Charlie transforms into a fierce competitor, fearless and determined, yet never losing sight of the camaraderie that binds her to her fellow athletes. As for her flavor, she's known for a complex mixture of sweet, tangy, and a good helping of spiciness. She's a free spirit, unafraid to embrace her wild side, to break into dance, to lose herself in the rhythm of life. She's an artist, a visionary who sees the beauty in the world around her and captures it with every stroke of her brush. And she's a scholar who finds solace and inspiration in the pulsating beats of EDM music as she immerses herself in her studies. And as you embark on this new chapter of life, Charlie, I want to remind you to hold tightly to that loving heart, to let it be your guiding light through the twists and turns of the road ahead. Let it inspire you. Let it remind you of the incredible person you are and the limitless potential that lies within you. I was in a spin class the other day, and this song came on that reminded me.
I've got sunshine. I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl. Talking about my girl. I've got sunshine. I've got sunshine.
Have you ever noticed that Molly McTeague is your hype woman? She will pump you up. She won the Residential Student Award this year because she created a welcoming and loving space in the dorm. She empathizes with everyone around her and makes them feel truly seen. When she asks you how you are doing, she actually wants to know. Molly appreciates all of us, not in spite of our weaknesses, but because of them. If we were all able to see each other how Molly sees us, this world would be a much better place. Molly has spent 3 years hyping us up. Now it's time to return the favor. From now on, please refer to me only as Molly's hype woman. When it comes to school, Molly is one of the hardest workers I have ever met. She has put in over 10,000 hours into her pre-calculus homework, and she reads her English books from cover to cover, literally. On the snow, she's a fierce animal who has a beast mode. Those European athletes better watch out because Molly is coming for them. In our community, Molly leads by example, showing other students what it truly means to have integrity, be kind to everyone around her, and dance like no one is watching. Molly, you have many strengths and talents within you. The greatest of these is surely your big heart. Whether you are skiing in your PG year, jetting off to college, or pursuing a career in physical therapy, I know that your love for others will always bring you fulfillment and joy. Everyone, please join me in hyping Molly up while she walks up to the stage to get her diploma.
Good morning. I'm Brick Root, and I've noticed this year that I have several advisees with biblical names: Ezra, Abigail, Nathaniel. I'm here to talk about Nathaniel, or Nate Montgomery. We've had the privilege of working with Nate all 4 years of high school, which is a time of immense growth in our development as humans. Freshman boys are notoriously ill-prepared for the academic rigors of high school, and Nate fit right in. He's always been a creative thinker, but was rather scattered. Sophomore year, he chose to make a statement. He sported a red fedora and a long, multicolored scarf, and when asked how things were going, he would say, "Perfect." Junior year found Nate hitting his stride. By the time spring arrived, Nate was ready to run for prefect. His from the heart speech propelled him into that position. As a senior, Nate has continued to impress, always willing to participate, to lend a hand, to engage and dig into questions, searching for creative answers. Nate is friends with many, including his sister Riley, a sophomore. Teenagers are not always so kind to their younger siblings. He even gets along with his parents. Nate seems headed toward immersion in computer science and skiing next year in Salt Lake City. His trajectory established, Nate wrote a paper titled Gravity Assist Trajectories and Atmospheric Reentry. Is he contemplating a trip somewhere? Back to Nathaniel, from Hebrew, meaning God has given. We can wonder, has God given us Nate, or has God given Nate his gifts? Will Nate please come up and get your roof?
Be patient. Our lives are connected. Thank you for giggling. Phew, needed that. Our lives are connected by 1,000 invisible threads. And these fibers create a tapestry woven by our actions and return to us as effects. I can do this. I was a dorm parent in Cedar Hall when Jason's mother was a student. 22 years later, Caitlin Passman's son, Jason, arrived at SMS. Caitlin passed when he was a boy. Yet Jason was connected with the dream of honoring his mother and coming to this school. Her brother Foster and his wife, Megan, made this dream come true. What an amazing gift. A Brazilian martial art called Jiu-Jitsu has played a significant role in Jason's life. One of the 32 principles of this art is the connection principle. It suggests that optimizing your success by evolving the tools and tactics you use to connect with others opens doors to discover our natural abilities. We all yearn to be connected to our family, friends, a community, and especially ourselves. Jason is learning the significance of connecting fibers in life by listening, negotiating, communicating, praising, embracing, and learning to create situations to maintain connections. Another principle in Jiu-Jitsu teaches us to live a life of honor. Jason honored Cedar Hall as a dorm leader. You can have my job. You want my job? As a dorm leader, he honored his mother by sharing part of her life history and her story. And soon he will honor our country by joining the Army. Jason, we now honor you. Thanks for sharing your loving hugs and tenderness and gracing us with your smile and the memory of your mother. Let's stay connected and continue to weave more connective threads. Congrats.
Okay. When I began this speech, I thought, John is so mysterious, clever, stoic, and so interesting. Then I thought, the most interesting man in the world. I've heard that somewhere. I can compare John to him. I did some cursory research and discovered that the most interesting man of the world is part of a Dos Equis beer commercial. And I thought, thank God I did some research before I really went with that for my speech. Next, I thought I'd compare him to James Bond or someone steely like that. And then it struck me, who cares about all these bros? John eclipses all of them. He is truly incomparable in the most striking and poignant ways. They would be lucky to be compared to him. While he might be guarded or mysterious, I count it as a great honor to be allowed a glimpse past the veiled exterior into who John is. A rare and compelling compilation of qualities. He is resolute and exacting in his pursuit of knowledge, not just answers, but truth. He is astute and perceptive in his approach to the complexities of this vast world. He is intense and determined as he races down the ski hill with the wind in his face and a prize in his eyes. John, you are truly beyond compare. I was a fool to think I could find anybody to match your dry wit and your unparalleled mind. Your mystery is certainly captivating, but I hope you can continue to let people in and give them the gift of truly knowing you. Congratulations, John. We love you.
I think I'll get through this one. Willie, thank God you won the outdoor award this year. Willie's an outdoor guy, a Toyota truck guy, a bike and vacuum mechanic guy. Then there's the goofball guy who answers everything with, yeah. He rapidly shakes his head side to side or shrugs his shoulders instead of speaking. Let me introduce you to the mystical guy who over the last 4 years has asked me more deep questions about consciousness than most adults. Never enough time to discuss it, Willie, but I leave you with this. What if every single person on the planet is evolving within their own self-created electromagnetic force field? If we consider this as a part of our reality, it could make it easier for us to understand how our relationships are a mirror reflection of our consciousness. Whether our relationships are wonderful or destructive or a combination of both, at any given moment, they're reflecting what we are sending out through our thoughts, words, actions, feelings. Have you heard that before? And beliefs. This is a difficult but glorious concept to realize. So it's really simple. We are responsible for our life. We live, move, and breathe within this electromagnetic force field of energy. So how do we get in touch with the complexity of our humanity? We reflect. And we venture out into the mountains and the canyons and take in nature's grandeur. But we must remember to pause and to consider the wonder of our existence and our connection to and with the earth. Without it, we're just mere humans. Contemplate this, and we'll discuss it later. You're an awesome guy, and your sense of joy will be so, so missed. Are you ready for a new adventure? Yeah. Thanks. Then come on up here and get your diploma. Where are you? Mustafa Suleimanov, future diplomat. He's trained us, we've trained him. Next round, college. Born in Baku, Azerbaijan. Lived there till he's 6 years of age. First grade, moved to Turkey and started school. 6th grade, became a Turkish citizen. Mid-6th grade, came to America. Grade 9, came here. Asked him to do something once more thoroughly. In my country, we do not do it that way. I cannot. Okay. Grade 10. I asked him what he is angry about. In my country, we use baseball bats and we settle things. We don't talk, we yell, we scream. That is how we do things. Member, diplomat. Grade 11. It's getting good. He asks, how do I ask a girl out? Is he red? Is he red? Yes! What is appropriate? Oh, excuse me. What is appropriate and the accepted procedure? I say, you must be on your way to understanding diplomacy. Grade 11, yearbook editor. How do I make people do what I tell them to do? Are you sure you understand what it means to be a diplomat? Grade 11, becomes a U.S. citizen. Grade 12, academic dean Katie Hawk says this: Mustafa is a put-together, passionate young gentleman. During his capstone presentation, he wowed his audience. It was one of the best capstone presentations I have ever seen. George Washington University, he is ready for you. Be ready, because he's ready to take on the world. We love you, Moose. We'll miss you, Moose. Thanks for all the cultural training, the laughs, the hugs, the small gifts, and the quirky looks. Diplomacy awaits you.
Question: how do I take all the dimensions that make up Bodhi and smush them onto one 8.5 by 11 two-dimensional blank piece of paper and do it in such a way that I can read it aloud to you in 90 seconds? Do I begin with the fact that Bodhi was so quiet the first week of class last year that I was worried about them? Wait, it turns out they were playing tic-tac-toe with Ben. I probably shouldn't mention that. Do I consider how many chocolate Kinder eggs Bodhi must have eaten to fill up my whole windowsill with toys? No, that's not relevant. Should I talk about Bodhi's amazing skills as a burper? Definitely not appropriate. Okay, how about Bodhi's personal fashion style? That'll work. Bodhi changes the length, color, style of their hair on a regular basis. Bodhi has contacts that make their eyes look like flowers. Bodhi chooses clothes, like that frog sweatshirt, that I think are intended to make Bodhi happy, not to meet some expectation that the rest of us might have. Bodhi is making a subtle or not so subtle statement that they will not let the world define them. I should mention something about Bodhi's academic strengths. Bodhi is willing to question the standard approaches to solving problems. They'll stay after class and show me how their way actually does get to the same answer as mine. They can dig deep into a topic that interests them, deep like 26 pages of information on the cultural significance of tattoos around the world. And I have to mention Bodhi's gift of art. Bodhi folds origami, draws, paints. They see art everywhere. If I had more time, I'd tell you that Bodhi is heading to the University of Hawaii at Manoa to study marine life. They love animals. They've already spent time at sea. And if I had more time, but I'm sure I'm already over 90 seconds, there are so many more dimensions to Bodhi that I haven't had time to mention. I guess I have the answer to my original question. I can't. Bodhi, you cannot be defined within the dimensions of a piece of paper or within 90 seconds of time. You can no longer be contained within the walls of this school. As you leave us, let your multidimensional, awesome self expand and grow until you have made your mark on this world for all of us to see. We will be watching. Congratulations.
I've figured out the secret Sam Thomas is hiding behind his steely gaze. He's smarter and more talented than any of us. Next year, Sam will study music at UC Berkeley. When I casually asked Sam about the offbeats I could hear in Cambodian music, he launched into a lesson about the polyrhythmic beats popular in Southeast Asia. He queried our Cambodian guide about politics, infrastructure, and regrowth following war, instead of the more common student questions like, is that the bathroom over there under the sign that says toilet? I've been asked that. In my A&P class, Sam reveled in the nuances of bone ossification. Oh, and he's an accomplished cake decorator. Need an illusion cake of brain anatomy? Sam did that. But perhaps what truly sets Sam apart is his quiet leadership and readiness to help out. He's the person who takes the temperature of a room without a word. He's the one who raises his hand each time help is needed. His presence is understated, yet powerful, much like the beautiful melodies he coaxes from his cello. A question we pondered on our trip: if you could have an endless supply of liquid in your fingers, what liquid would you choose? Most of us chose things like ketchup or coffee. Sam's choice? Liquid gold. So here's to you, Sam, a true embodiment of talent and humility. May your future be as bright as the liquid gold you'd have at your fingertips.
Isa applied to SMS, sight unseen. She had never been to Steamboat, but for some unbeknownst reason, she followed the whisper of an adventure in her heart. When she first arrived, she was skeptical about these mountains and the lessons that they had to offer, to say the least. Listen, I'm gonna be real with y'all. She hated it here. Wearing the same t-shirt for 4 days while backpacking, mice in the kitchen, and getting a wedgie from a canyoneering harness were a far cry from the luxurious beaches of Miami. But Isa stuck it out. She let the dirt gather under her acrylics. She screamed as she pizzaed down the chutes and committed deeply to her academics. She told ragged stories of her adventures, laughed with her friends, and snuggled with her stuffies on her perfectly made bed. She became the go-to dog sitter for all the campus dog moms. The school, it surprised her. It was becoming a home. I think she surprised herself with her own inner strength. The years that followed flew by. Isa grew to be a leader in the dorm, an academic and beautiful artist in the classroom, and an explorer in the world. SMS remained her home base while she rode camels in Morocco, biked 70 miles of the White Rim on a literal clown bike, and found a passion for medicine during her veterinary internship. But the nature of a home is a funny thing, because there comes a time when one must fly from them. That time has come now for Isa. Whether she becomes a vet, a dentist, or a nurse, I am certain that she will find both a new home and a new adventure in Utah, especially if she brings her stuffies, her clown bike, and her bravery along with her.
Kaylin White, you are a crazy plant lady. You live in a greenhouse with 30 plus plants hanging off windowsills and covering every piece of furniture. Walking into your dorm room, I half expect birds to be flying between leaves and Tarzan to walk out of the closet. Oh wait, that's just Jonah. Kaylin, your green thumb mirrors other aspects of your life. You water your friendships like you water your plants, consistently, lovingly, and with the intention of helping them grow. You want nothing but success for the people you love, and you'll cheer them on every step of the way. Kaylin, when I enter your bedroom, I feel the intense burst of oxygen from the leaves. Similarly, when you walk into a room, it's a breath of fresh air. You exude confidence and self-assurance. You celebrate yourself with pride and intentionality. Girls in the dorm learn the importance of self-love from you. Kaylin, similar to your Fittonia plant, the essence of green and pink mosaics pinpoint your uniqueness perfectly. Your humor is odd, yet strikingly funny. You bought your friends denim-printed spandex and created a new word for the English language, janties. Your individualism embraces balance. You'll yell at someone for not cleaning out the link catcher and then bake everyone cookies for a nighttime treat. You balance a rigorous ski schedule, difficult academics, and a bustling social life. Kaylin, just like a plant, you are wise. I've learned so much from you over the past 2 years and am forever grateful for your listening ear and sound advice. Next year, like your plants, you'll grow, turn over new leaves, and drink in all the new experiences. Congratulations. I created a recipe to add to Cheyenne's cookbook, the Cheyenne swirl cake. To make this unique, one-of-a-kind cake, you start by mixing the dry ingredients, the ones that provide the foundation that everything is built on. For this cake, that's joy, intelligence, curiosity, and authenticity. Cheyenne explores her curiosities intimately. She studied psychology online to expand her knowledge on human behavior. As for joy, Cheyenne often claims that skipping is the most efficient way to move through the world. I agree. Step 2, mix the wet ingredients to bind the mixture together. Add empathy, compassion, and respect. Cheyenne's open heart and non-judgment draws others in. Her friends know that when they speak, she truly listens, and when she says thank you, she means it. Step 3, crack 2 large, awkward jokes, scramble them fully, and add them to the mix. To know Cheyenne means you feast on laughter, intentional or not. In the Atlas Mountains of Morocco, Cheyenne peed herself laughing, and due to the uncontrollable giggle fit, she ripped the toilet seat right off the toilet. Cue more laughter. Step 4, bake, cool, let Cheyenne take a nap. The final step of a Cheyenne swirl cake is to decorate. Douse that cake in glitter and adventure. Cheyenne has spunk, sparkle, and strangeness. As for adventure, she played hooky from school to ride roller coasters in Cedar Rapids, Ohio. Adventure? Check. Cheyenne, I'm so excited for your gap year. It'll be full of exploratory recipes, adventurous road trips, and thoughtful reflections on seeing life through a different lens. Congratulations.
Graduates, please rise if you are able to. I'm pleased to present Steamboat Mountain School's class of 2024. Congratulations. Please lead the seniors in the recessional out into the courtyard, and then we will enjoy refreshments over on the deck.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, let's go. All right, okay. All right, okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Look